Ernest Scared Stupid is a complicated film. There are a lot of things I do genuinely appreciate about it, like I appreciate its monster mythology, featuring a troll which turns children to dolls and feeds on their souls so that it might produce its own family. I appreciate that it gives typical redneck buffoon Ernest an actual reason to be so stupid, justifying his increased idiocy with an intergenerational curse. I appreciate the villain's unique and campy design, and I love that he's defeated with the power of love. I owe this film a lot, actually, believe it or not. It was the first place I'd heard the expression unconditional love, and I had to reconcile that in my tiny child brain. How can someone love unconditionally? What would that even look like? I mean, Ernest Scared Stupid shows you what it looks like, but it's played for laughs. Listen, I am a big sucker for chaotic comedy scenes powered by real narrative justification, and if nothing else, this ceaselessly silly spectacle has that. The cheesy, blatantly bonkers Chosen One narrative shines brightest when Ernest is being hailed as the redneck hero, the seventh son of the seventh son, the baby, the boy, the only troll fighter we've got. There's a reverence for the tradition of these tropes, and also a knowing comedic overtone. It's simply splendid when it all kicks together. Kicks, one of those two. My gushing aside, Ernest Scared Stupid has its share of serious problems. Like, as much as I enjoy the idea of the lore, it's contradicted more than once, and the film pulls some cheap tricks to get extra mileage out of the premise. All of the other characters are ironically also just as stupid as Ernest, which it dulls the blade a fair bit. Ernest is literally destined to be stupid, but I guess everyone else is also a moron, just in a less flamboyant fashion. There's also a lot of inexcusable padding, particularly in the third act. Some scenes just won't stop chugging along. Add to that some incredibly obvious, lazy practical effect failures, and you got a pretty cheap experience. Your tolerance for Ernest Scared Stupid, I suppose, ultimately comes down to its personal appeal, as with most anything. I enjoy this movie quite a bit. It has some clever slapstick gags, good costume design, a beautifully overdramatic backstory, and at least two moments which manage to evoke a semblance of real emotion. Plus, again, Ernest kisses the bad guy to death. Literally. I cannot in good conscience call this a good film, but I do find it effortlessly charming, and the final confrontation stuck with me all these years.